Well, hello. Sorry for being a few minutes late. It is January 8th, 2025. We're going to do a little tapping for resistance today. Well, good morning, wherever you are in the world. I am Gene Monterastelli, the eponymous Gene from Wednesdays with Gene. I am super glad that you are here. I apologize for being a few minutes late. We had some technology issues this morning. There was this small issue of my microphone not working, which makes us having a little conversation like this difficult. So, what that means, it is absolutely the perfect thing for us to do to start off by just doing 90 seconds of wordless tapping to put ourselves into our body. Just tap on the side of the hand, just move from point to point. Just take a nice big deep breath and tap along with me. Oh, nice big stretch. Move around, maybe grab a sip of water. If anything came bubble into your head, a note you need to make, jot that down. Grab my notes for today. Excellent. Awesome. So, a couple of notes before we jump into today and all that we are doing. One of the great ways to track the work that you're doing is my little tapping tracker. It's not the best way, it's not the only way, but it is a great way for you to keep track of what's going on. It's how I capture my insights, it's how I capture my tail enders, it's how I keep myself motivated. I even re edited it this morning. One of the pieces of feedback we had received was the lines were a little too close together for you to use it effectively. So I have re-edited it. So if you go to tappingtracker.com, you can download that absolutely free. I got a 30-day version. I got a 100-day version of it. So you can tap along with us. One of the things that I have been doing this calendar year, and I'd love for you to join me, is I've actually been doing 100 days of tapping every single morning. In addition to spending a little time tapping, what I've also been doing is I have been jotting down and capturing my insights. And what I've actually been doing is I have been sharing them on Instagram. So if you want to follow along with us, you are certainly welcome to do that. And so basically, what I'm doing each of the days, like 2 days ago, I got a couple of insights that came up while I was tapping, as well as some tail enders, and I'm jotting those down. We're also doing some other things on there. Yesterday, the tapping that I actually did was I was trying to solve a really big problem, and I needed some creativity in order to help me to do exactly that. So I just did a little tapping and I put the 6-step process that I went through that you can find over there on Instagram that'll help you to do the exact same thing. So if you'd like to join us, follow along on Instagram. And you don't have to do it for 100 days. If you wanted to do it 5, if you want to do it for 3, if you want to do it for 7, it doesn't matter. But what it does is it makes it super, super easy for you to be able to engage with something by thinking about it in that particular way. The other announcement is this and these live streams are put together by the Tapping Mastery Academy. That is my year-long program in which I teach you how to get the most out of tapping this month. And I did the first version of it over the course of the weekend. I'm teaching the Tapping Mastery Blueprint. The Tapping Mastery Blueprint includes 5 approaches that I think every tapper needs to know how to do, which makes it so much easier for you to get the most out of tapping, because oftentimes when we sit down to tap, we don't know where to start. And I think that is the biggest thing that holds us back. One of the reasons why live streams like this, tap along videos, are so useful is it gives us the ability, when we don't know what to say, we have words, we have someone else who is guiding us through the process. This is going to show you some of my favorite ways. I would love for you to join us. I'm teaching it live 2 more times this month, as well as you can just access the videos for all 11 lessons. All of the details can be found at tappingqa/TMB for Tapping Mastery Blueprint. I would love, love, love if you joined us for that sometime this month or sometime in the future. We had such a great time doing the tapping this weekend that I would like for you to be able to experience that as well. Okay, so with that being said, what we're going to do today is we're going to tap for resistance to taking action. And for me, tapping for resistance to taking action is probably one of the most often types, common uses of tapping that I do. For me, it kind of falls into 2 categories. I'm either tapping to clear some emotional issues, emotional first aid, or I'm tapping to take action. Because for me, nothing changes unless we are taking action. Simply thinking something new, simply feeling something new can make a difference internally. But the changes in my life don't show up until I start taking action. And if it wasn't for resistance to take action, you would have already have taken action. Because I would be willing to bet there are lots of things in your life that you would like to do, that you know what to do, you know how to do it, you have the resources to do it, you know how valuable it is for you to do that thing, and you are not doing it. And so, if those prerequisites are there, if we know what to do, if we know how to do it, if we have all of the resources to do it, then we're in a circumstance, if we're not taking action, then there must be some emotional resistance to do that. So, what I'm going to encourage you to do, and I'm going to grab mine right now. So, this is my brand new tapping journal that I am using for 2025. I'm using it to track all of the transformation in my life, but primarily I'm using it certainly in the back half of this to do some transformation and some tracking on my tapping. So, what I want you to do, grab a piece of paper, and what I want you to do to start with is I want you to jot down an action that you would like to take, something that is valuable to you, something that'll make a difference. And it doesn't have to be the biggest thing in the world, because sometimes a valuable task is something that is really, really small in the amount of time and the amount of effort that we take, but the impact that is there is really big for us. So I'm going to do something inside of my business. I was actually giving this a lot of thought this morning. And instead of doing the tapping this morning, I actually stopped myself as I sat here because I wanted to tap along with you. So write down, and I love it if you dropped it into the chat box as well. What is an action that you would like to take that you are resisting? And as you drop stuff in here, we might be able to do a little tapping along with that as well. For me, what I would like to do, my goal for this calendar year, is I would like to appear as a guest on 100 podcasts or live streams or something to share tapping with the world. So I'm going to just start by writing that down. So 100 guest appearances. And I'm not just writing this down because I happen to be on camera and I'm leading you along. For me, it's really valuable when I sit down to tap to write down what my goal is of that round of tapping, because it's really easy for me to get distracted by shiny objects of limiting beliefs and stories and things that come bubbling up as I am working my way through the tapping. And it's really easy for us to chase the pain. And so for me, by having a really clear idea of the issue that I'm going after, It makes it so much easier for me because I always have a home base to come back to. I can look down and I can go, oh, this is the reason why I'm sitting here to tap. And it might seem silly that you need to remind yourself that there are things that you need to jot down so you can come back to it. But there have been lots of times that when I've been sitting to tap, that I have been so engaged with the emotion and what's coming up, I feel better because I'm tapping, but I'm losing track of what's going on. So write down the thing that you would like, the action that you would like to take, or the outcome that you would like to have over the course of the next week, the next couple of weeks. Again, it can be big and small. And again, if you want to jot the put it into the chat over there so that we can kind of see the things that you would like to do, that would be really great as well. Awesome. Let's see here. Let's see if I got this set up correctly. Boom. There we go. What do we got here? Write my business plan. Read after dinner instead of watching TV. Again, small but really powerful. Visualization journal. Awesome. I want to do things for myself and not for my mom anymore. Work on my finances for my retirement. Learn to use my new photo printer effectively. Get rid of the things that I don't use, decluttering. Find a viable online French class that fits my schedule. Start swimming year round. Awesome. These are really, really great. Very good. So I love that. Okay. So after we have written down the thing that we would like to do more, the second thing I want you to do is I want you to jot down why this is valuable for you. Because for me, taking action is, from a point of willpower, is good one time, but it's hard for me to do it persistently. And when I connect with the why I want to do something, that creates a natural motivation for me because it's not about the action, it's not about achieving the action, but for me, it's about why that particular thing is valuable. So, you have named the things that you would like to do. Like, so for me, I want to appear 100 times. So, why are some of these things valuable? So, I can grow my business, I can make a difference in the world by sharing tapping, I can find new partners for other activities. I love the sound of my own voice. And I know that sounds like a little bit of a joke, but it's true. Like, I enjoy having conversation. I enjoy teaching. I wouldn't be here doing something like this if it wasn't also something that brought me joy. So what I want you to do is I want you to jot down what would be if even if it's just one, what is one tangible, useful benefit from achieving this thing or doing this particular thing. And again, I'd love to for you to drop some notes in the chat box so we can celebrate and move forward towards this stuff together. And as you were working on that, if you're done writing, just tap a little bit because I have a feeling that things come burbling up just as we name these things. And so what are some of the benefits? So I can feel better more often. Helping others will grow my business. It will enhance my well-being in all levels. I will be discharging yuck. I love that. Allow me to overcome loneliness and share my gifts. That is beautiful. I like that a lot. Free up space physically and mentally. Mm, it's cheaper. So I'm able to do other things and turn things around faster. Awesomeness. Keep dropping some of those insights and things that you would like in there in the chat box. Motivate me to get started on my business. Good stuff. Okay, so now we haven't done anything except name an outcome and name why we want that particular outcome. We haven't gotten into the nitty gritty of taking action or anything like that. But more than likely, as you do that, emotions are starting to come up. Now, what we're going to do again, so I want you to just tune into this outcome. I want you to tune into why you want it. And we're just going to do the exact same thing again. What we're going to do is we're just going to take 90 seconds and just do some more wordless tapping now that we have tuned into that thing. And as you do that, just notice what's going on in the system. We don't have to name the resistance yet, but just feel it. We don't have to know why it's there, but just notice what's going on. Nice big deep breath. Now, even though, so all we've done so far, we did 90 seconds of wordless tapping. We named an outcome that we want. We named why we wanted that outcome. We did another 90 seconds of wordless tapping. That's it. That's all we've done so far. Now, as you were doing that tapping, what did you notice? What came bubbling up in your head? What did you feel in your body? So for me, when I named this and I like naming the goal, I didn't feel anything. The moment I started saying, this is why I want that goal, this is why I want that outcome, that was the moment that resistance started showing up in the middle of my chest. So then we did the 90 seconds of wordless tapping. And as I was doing that, some insights came forward. So, what I want you to do, if any insights or if any tail enders like yeah buts and things like that showed up, what I want you to do is I want you to write them down. I also want you to drop them in the chat box so we can use this. So, for me, insight number one was you don't have to do it all at once. The second insight I got was even if I only did half of it, that would be amazing. Half of the outcome would be amazing. And the third insight I got was just do a little today. So, what did you notice as you were working your way through that? And again, I'm just going to tap as you're catching up and jotting things down because it's more important that you write it down for yourself than you put it in the chat box. But put it in the chat box gives us a chance to do this together. So, what were some of the things that came bubbling up as we did this? Fear. Yep, absolutely. Resistance and fear shows up. Afraid I'm going to lose my apartment. Just writing my why actually made me feel more excited and enthusiastic about it. The clutter thing. If I let it go, I might need those things. It will increase my sense of community. Fear of the unknown. I'm resistance because of technical hassles and I don't know what to do. Some people will criticize me. I am a great person and have great at work experience. It could be fun to interview rather than interrogate. Fear comes up. My stomach expanded and I got super tired. I love that. Not that you're experiencing that, but those are the things that are coming up. So, the next step for me, and some of it is already coming up here, is the next step is to tune into that resistance more specifically. So, take a nice big deep breath. I'm going to stretch a little bit before I do that. And what I want you to do is I want you to tune into imagine taking the action, tune into the resistance. So even though my resistance is calming down, I can still feel a little of it in my solar plexus. And as you notice it in the body, now what you're going to do is I want you to ask the resistance specifically, what is it afraid of? And so as I tune into it, I hear non-tappers are going to think tapping is crazy and I am foolish. Reaching out to others is always scary because they can say no to me. I could put into all the effort and not get the outcomes that I want. So, notice the things that are coming up, jot them down. And I'm just going to tap as you're writing. And if you're done writing, feel free to just tap wordlessly with me. Mhm. And so let's just tap and just move from point to point, and I'm going to incorporate a lot of the things that you're putting in there as well. I recognize the fact this action requires me to act in a new way. And when I act in a new way, I am going to stretch. I'm going to find out things about myself that I may not like. I might not be as good as this as I think. It might be harder than I think. People might judge me for taking this action. I might invest my heart in it, only to fail. It feels like it's too much. It's too hard. It's too overwhelming. It's too complicated. Others are able to do this, but I am not. Others are going to be capable, and I am just going to fail. And I appreciate, and I hear Every single one of these emotions. The fear wants me to see danger. The overwhelm thinks I am limited. The frustration is reminding me of past failures. And even though it is no fun to feel these emotions, I know it is just my internal guidance trying to keep me safe, trying to keep me healthy, trying to keep me secure. I give myself permission to know these emotions have been heard. I give myself permission to know the emotions have been understood. But now that I keep feeling these emotions, they go from pointing out danger to getting in the way. I give myself permission to know. As the emotions quiet, I can still be safe. And I can still take action. I give myself permission to hear these emotions, to understand these emotions, to release these emotions so I can take action. Okay, nice big deep breath. Stretch, have a little sip of water. What'd you notice? What's the thing that's still running around in your head? And I want you to know one of two things. One, I'd like you to know what is the insight? What are the good things? What were the phrases that resonate? And I want you to write those down. I want you to share those in the chat box. And two, were there stories? Were there tail enders? Tail enders are those little voices that after you say the phrase that I said that goes, yeah, but not this thing. What were the tail enders that showed up? What were the stories? What were the memories? What were the examples? Jot those down. We don't want to lose those because those can also be useful as well. For me, what I just kept hearing over and over again is it is possible with time and concerted effort. Effort does not mean it is hard. What were the things that you heard as we were tapping our way through that? The good, the bad, the encouraging, the discouraging. As hard as it is to hear those discouraging things when we're tapping, that's the truth that our subconscious mind is carrying around. And it's really important that we are honest with and we respond to the fact that it is there inside of that. So capture those ideas, jot them down, share them with us. It's going to inform the tapping that we're doing. And if you are done writing, just tap on the collarbone because whatever is roiling around inside of you right now is going to come up. Because remember, just as I feel it and I'm tapping, I'm doing work on it. I don't have to be saying phrases while I'm doing that particular thing. Oh, lots of great tail enders coming up. What do we got going on here? Let's see. What do we have? Just the general fear of change. I don't know where to start. There's too much to do. Fear that my heart will have issues in the cold water. I will fail. Feels overwhelming. I'm worried about the frustration that I will feel when I can't work out the technical stuff. It's too hard. Why bother? Fear of being vulnerable in front of others. Taking action dissolves my comfy home base. Yes. I might invest my heart only to fail again. It's useless to even try. Feeling unworthiness. Okay. We got lots of stories there. Let's tap on those stories. Side of the hand, nice big deep breath. There's a part of me that is worried that it is unsafe for me to take action. There is a part of me that is worried that I am not allowed to take action. There is a part of me that is worried that I'm not allowed to take action. There's a part of me that is worried I will fail. There is a part of me that is worried I will fail. There's a part of me that is worried I will fail. There is a part of me that doesn't feel worthy of success. There is a part of me that doesn't feel worthy of success. There is a part of me that is worried I am not made for success. I might fail. I don't want to fail. I might fail. I don't want to fail. I am worried. It's a waste of time. I am worried. It is not going to work out. I am worried. I'm going to fail. I feel these emotions. I give myself permission to feel these emotions. In this moment, I'm allowed to feel these emotions. Right now, I'm joined with others who are also feeling these emotions. I am not unusual in being afraid. I am not unusual in being overwhelmed. I hear the fear. I hear the concern. I hear the overwhelm. I'm allowed to feel the emotions. Nice easy breath. What do you notice? Jot some things down. Things came bubbling up. Maybe there was some positive insight that came in. We tapped on all of the negative there. And when we started that round of tapping, that wasn't the intention I had for that particular round of tapping. As we started that round of tapping, I just started feeling the emotion. And there are times in which the tapping that I do to overcome resistance is just to be present to the emotion. Because so often we feel we have to have a stiff upper lip and we can't show our weaknesses and we can't admit our weaknesses to ourselves because if we admit our weaknesses to ourselves, we're manifesting bad things. And the reality is, the emotions that we're feeling about this thing that we want to achieve, they're like bricks in a backpack. It doesn't matter if I'm looking in the backpack. It doesn't matter if I know how many bricks are in the backpack. I'm wearing the backpack and I'm carrying it around with me. And so sometimes the tapping I do is just like that. I'm not reframing. I'm not creating positive affirmation. I'm not doing anything different. I'm just hearing the emotion. I'm just acknowledging the emotion. I'm allowing myself to feel the emotion. And sometimes the fears that come up are real. Sometimes the consequences we're afraid of are possible. I am not tapping around resistance. I'm not tapping on these emotions to create some magical world where everything is perfect for me. I'm open to total, instantaneous, eternal transformation. But at the exact same time, I'm human. And one of the biggest changes for me as I have been engaging with my work is part of my job as my internal work is to continue to simply recognize and acknowledge my own humanity and feeling all of these emotions. There's nothing more human than doing exactly that. So I would love to hear the fears that came burbling up, your experience with just tapping on the emotion, the insight that just showed up in that. Feel free to share that with it so it's easier for us to be okay. That was deep and heartfelt. Good. I got it. It's okay to feel vulnerable. Yes, it's okay to feel vulnerable. Now, we don't want to be vulnerable everywhere, in every context, and everything that we're doing. But there are times and there are spaces where we're allowed to create that container where we can feel those things. So as you keep sharing what's going on, if you want to tap with me, you can do that as well. I give myself permission to feel. I give myself permission to feel. I am not failing if I feel. And feeling does not mean it is perfect. And feeling does not want to get in the way. I'm allowed to be imperfect, to be scared, to be overwhelmed. Because I also know there is overcoming in the face of fear. There is achievement in the face of doubt. I give myself permission to be present in this moment. Nice deep breath. And again, just what do you notice? What comes bubbling up? Don't be afraid of it. Be present to it. I want to be seen and heard, but I feel unworthy about being seen and heard. How is that possible? So, one of the things that you're getting at with that particular comment is, and this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, is that, we talk about so often of being of two minds. I could choose A or I could choose B, and it's so hard of being of two minds. But there's a real gift in being of two minds. I can be of two minds where I can appreciate my transformation and I can want better. Because sometimes appreciating my transformation means that I've stopped growing, or wanting better means I'm not appreciating what is going on. Like we have the capacity of having these dual experiences. I want to be seen and I'm afraid and I don't feel worthy to be seen. That's just like a business where research and development is trying to grow and create all of these things. And the legal department's going, oh no, all of the bad things are going to happen if we try. And so that's just two parts of you that want what's best for you. The part that wants to be seen wants you to grow. The part that's afraid to be seen wants you to be safe. And so when we do this work, it's about getting those parts to get together, to be in communion with each other as we do this. I'm crying, but I also feel healing now. Yes. What else do we got going on over here? As you're sharing. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate y'all sharing in this particular way. Fear was I'm not happy enough, but the tail ender was, but I'm not good enough. Feeling stronger and warmer. Excellent. Feeling confident in the face of uncertainty. Again, we start to see these small growths as we engage with this. I feel both fear and excitement and curiosity. Absolutely. How human is that to be in that circumstance? Up until now, I have had not one good feeling about taking this action. I just got a glimmer of maybe I want to write a picture of what it might be like if I did it. The curtain is lifting. Do this for me. Wrong button. Let's do this. I recognize the fact, even though it is scary, I give myself permission that someday, in some small way, it might feel safe for me to believe that this is actually possible for me. I give myself permission to know that it might be a process, to appreciate that it might be a process, and to be frustrated by the fact that it's always a damn process. I give myself permission to recognize creating change is not an all or nothing proposition. Does not have to be an all or nothing proposition. I give myself permission to engage with this in simple, small ways. Nice deep breath. And again, just notice, just be present. Don't be in a rush. Just pay attention to what's there. And again, if tail ender shows up, jot it down. Sometimes the work we do is just recognizing the work we need to do. And so, as we have been dealing and leaning into a lot of these negative things, I want to hear some of the insights that you've heard, some of the glimmers of hope, some of the actions that you could take, some of the states and emotions that you want to feel. I want to hear, share in the chat box, what are the things that are growing inside of you that are embers that we need to fan the flame of those embers, that are sparks that are going to grow, that can grow into the passion of taking action and moving forward. Because for me, it's so vital that we capture these insights and we tap on those as well. So I would love to hear the things that are coming up for you. And if there are no insights, that's okay. Just tap on the collarbone, just be present, knowing that you're in a community of folks who are trying to create change as well. Mm. Make sure you're grabbing water as well as we work our way through this, keeping yourself healthy in the tapping. Awesome. Insights are starting to show up. Keep dropping those in the chat box. I'm going to show you exactly what we do with those insights. Oh, these are so good. And when we're done with this, I'm capturing all these insights. I'm going to tell you something really fun that we do with those as well. Keep tapping those insights in. So, one of the things that we do, keep tapping insights, is I talk about tracking insights. It's in the tapping tracker. It's something that's really, really valuable. And one of the things that you will see over my shoulder, boop, he just came dropping in. So you can highlight him for you. I'm going to do him again so you can see him again. Boop, boop. There he is. Over my shoulder is a little bitty jug. We got to give him a name at some point. That was a piece of pottery that was made by the amazing stand-up comedian and writer Eliza Skinner. You can find her on Etsy as Booberry Jones. What we do is we take all of the insights from every single one of these live streams and I write them down and I stick them in that little guy because we're going to tap on all of them in the future. And this is what it looks like when we tap on those insights. Oh, sorry about that. I keep hitting the wrong thing. So this is what it looks like. So just move from point to point, repeating after me. I feel motivated to take action. Even if I don't have all of the answers, I give myself permission to take small steps. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Taking small steps makes it manageable. Taking small steps makes it possible. Other people have done it, so can I. It is always exciting and exhilarating to accomplish something. I give myself permission to accomplish something today and celebrate when it happens. I want to be and can be happy as I move forward. I give myself permission to have conversations with those who can support me. Small steps create momentum. Momentum creates confidence. I can do it even if it means change. I can do it even if it means change lots of things. I see myself taking action and be successful. Why not me? When I'm patient, the magic happens. I feel my energy coming to focus around this project. It is healing to allow time to do what I need to do. I do not despise small beginnings. Taking action will be a gift to myself. Taking action will be a gift to myself. I am worthy of gifts to myself. I'm allowed to give gifts to myself. Taking action is a gift to myself. Nice big deep breath. Once again, just tune back into the action to see where you are now. It might feel easier, it might feel heavier. It doesn't matter. I just want you to notice where you are inside of that. And so that's process. It doesn't have to be much more complicated than that. Name what you want, name why you want it, tap wordlessly, say your fears out loud, say your emotions out loud, say your emotion out loud, say it out loud, say it out loud, and say it out loud another 37 times. Give yourself permission to celebrate. So hopefully that is useful. If you stirred things up, jot those down. Like for me, it's so valuable for me to capture my insights and my tail enders. My insights, we're going to tap on all of those insights again, just like we did. We just created a beautiful, amazing tapping script as a community. You know, I love that phrase that Francine dropped in there. Taking action is a gift to me. I'm going to be using that one over and over again. So we capture these, we use them. Again, sometime next month, in the next 5 or 6 weeks, we're going to come together and we're just going to take the insights from all of these live streams and we're going to tap on them and we're going to reinforce and we're going to tap on them. So it's a great way for us to engage. So a couple of footnotes for all of this. Number one, please, please, please consider joining us for the Tapping Mastery Blueprint. I asked some folks to share their experience. I got some amazing testimonials. It's a training that I've been working on for a really long time. It's practical. It's about how do you make tapping easier for you to use. Just go to tappingqa/TMB. You can get all of the information. Number two, the tapping tracker is waiting there for you. In addition to a PDF that you can print out and track what you are doing, it's a great opportunity for you. There's a little training. There's a 15-minute video that teaches you exactly how to do it. You can follow me along in my journey at tappingqa.com on Instagram, hashtag 100 days of tapping. You don't have to do it for 100 days. Even if you're doing it for 4 days in a row, that's going to make a huge difference. Finally, Tapping Q&A podcast, episode 644 went up this morning. If you go to tappingpodcast.com, there's both video and audio version. I spent some time talking about how I tap for and respond to being an imposter and dealing with that particular imposter syndrome. So thanks for spending a little time hanging out with me today on your Wednesday. If you're joining us live, if you're joining us after the fact, we are here every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I'd love for you to join us. Based on the things that were showing up in the chat box today, I have a good feeling that next week what we're going to do is we're going to do some tapping on worthiness and how we can engage with that particular sense of worthiness. Keep an eye on your inbox Monday and Wednesday. I send out the notes so you can find the links, but you can just search Tapping Teaching Q&A or Gene Monterastelli on YouTube. You can actually see the video right down below. Click the thumbs up, makes it easier for other people to follow. But subscribe, turn on the notification. So each time we do this, you know when it is happening, when we're going live. If you're watching this after the fact, on the screen right now, you can actually see a link to all of our live streams. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Have an awesome, awesome day. Bye-bye.